It's an all-forward front row for round one of the Privateers Cup for 1998. Let's check how they line up on the grid. Danny Osborne and Paul Wheel side by side on row one. Mal Rose and Greg Crick will start out of row two.
We then go back to row three, Richard Moore and John Briggs. Now, Richard Moore may not start. He has been having some problems with that car. Michael Donaher and Melinda Price.
Gary Wilmington and Chris Smerdon start out of 9 and 10. 11 12, Ray Hislop from Tasmania. And Trevor Ashby will start off the back. They've got the green flag. We should be moments away from the start of Privateers Cup round one for 1998. Look at that, a big field of Privateers. 12 in all. They get the green light and they blast off. For round one, Mal Rose making a great start from the second row in the Commodore. He's going to put the squeeze on the two Fords and actually take the lead into turn one.
Keep your eyes on the young guy who's gone back. He's gone back to third, fourth and fifth now. It's young Paul Wheel, just 18 years of age. But it's Mal Rose from John Briggs. Oh, and Osborne. They squeeze in. Osborne's gone onto the grass. He manages to hang on to it. So it's Rose, Osborne and Briggs. Then it looked like Paul Wheel has got himself back up. Or is it Chris Smerdon? They're going all over the place.
Yeah, wild antics of those first few corners. It always is a Sandown. Very narrow part of the circuit. Big field trying to shuffle the way through. Mal Rose has got a great leap out of Repco Corner. He flies up over Holden Hill, 260 kilometres an hour as he brakes hard for this daunting part of the S's as he sweeps down toward XR Falcon Corner for the first time. Big gaggle of Privateers cars. You can see Greg Crick. He's in there too. Greg Crick, yeah, he was getting a little caught up. Good to see Mal Rose, part of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship this year. Let's hope that he can put a deal together for to do a lot of the rounds. Good to see so many Privateers. Just got a quick glimpse there of Melinda Price, the Castrol Cougars entry back, and there's a challenge on here. Briggs goes through. Danny Osborne, they've been fighting it out right since the opening corner. John Briggs in the Super Cheap Autos Falcon, another new entry to the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship, and away we go. There's lap 1 of 4 down, and it's all Mal Rose. Yeah, great run from the Sydney Privateer. Mal Rose leads them across the start-finish line for the first time. Osborne, Smerdon, all there as they break hard for turn one, and a big challenge on the inside too. Might have been Smerdon having a look down the inside at Shell Mastercard turn. So there's a real battle on here amongst the Privateers.
Greg Crick and Paul Wheel were battling it out there. Chris Smerdon's got up amongst the front runners. Danny Osborne just sitting there. There looked like a little bit of contact between Greg Crick and Chris Smerdon. Paul Wheel hanging in off the back. It's very good racing in the opening couple of laps.
John Briggs in second position for Super Cheap Autos Falcon, former sports sedan racer. He's used to cars with a lot of horsepower. Really enjoying his V8 supercar outings in 1998. There he is there, as he tries to close the gap to our race leader, Mal Rose. Osborne in third. Smerdon really having a great fight with Crick in the Ericsson Commodore.
Well, it's very encouraging, Mark, to see so many new sponsors are involved with the Privateers. There's one, for example, on screen. John Briggs with the Super Cheap Autos car. Greg Crick has got Trust Bank on board now, along with his existing sponsor, Ericsson. So it's looking bright for the Privateers in 98.
Yeah, and a new format, too, for the Privateers Cup battle. From round 3 at Lakeside, they'll switch to a Yokohama control tyre. Every car running for the Privateers Cup honours will have to be on that control tyre. Then they'll be able to nominate 8-point scoring rounds, and the top best 6-point scoring rounds will be their total. Look at this. Look up the inside by John Briggs. He's getting very, very close to Mal Rose. We've just gone half distance. He's got 2 more laps left, and by the speed shown in the Super Cheap Autos Ford, he may well be able to close the gap.
Well, Briggs is the quickest out there on the track by a mile. He's in the 1:14s. Everybody else is in the 1:15s and above. So John Briggs in his opening race for this 98 season is doing very well. A lot of people, a lot of sports sedans supporters will remember John Briggs from the Honda Prelude days. Now running in a Ford Falcon, chasing hard after Mal Rose in the Fairfax Community Classifieds Commodore. Doing a good job. He got the jump. I caught a quick glimpse before, Mark, of Trevor Ashby, who started right from the back. Keep in mind, folks, too, that these aren't their qualifying positions. They draw out of a hat. And poor old Trevor Ashby drew the last grid. And he's worked very hard to come up on through. In fact, he's in position number 7, so not a bad job.
Yeah, closing the gap all the time. John Briggs, very aggressive run in the Super Cheap Autos Falcon. And Mal Rose hanging on, former Australian production car champion. Here's the battle further back in the field between Trevor Ashby and Ray Hislop. This is the battle for 7th and 8th positions. So good battles right up and down this big field of Privateers in the Privateers Cup Dash.
Trevor coming up on the rear of a young guy who we really should give a rap to. He is just 18 years of age in the Trade Link Falcon. There he is there, the green and yellow one going through just ahead of Trevor. We're on our final lap. 18 18 years of age, from Supercross and Motocross to Stadium Off-Road to now in the V8 Supercar category at just 18 years of age. Keep a close eye on this young Queenslander. He's got a big future ahead of him.
Yeah, quite a transition.
Oh, Danny Osborne.
Thought I could hear some tyres squealing there. Osborne spun the colour scan Falcon, former Tony Longhurst car driven by Stephen Ellery. He's got a few miles up on it now, but still a competitive machine. And Danny Osborne will try and flick that back around, stay out of the kitty litter. And meanwhile, in all that drama, John Briggs has snuck up the inside or the outside of Melrose. So he takes the lead. He certainly had plenty of pace aboard that Ford. It was always on. So he's going to try and hold Melrose out for the final quarter of this lap, and he'll take the victory.
Disappointing there for Danny Osborne. He was up in third place, but great for John Briggs. The opening round of the 98 Shell Series, and he's going to be very happy. It's a great way to start the year. He's got ahead of Melrose. He's bringing it down the Brock Straight. And John Briggs will take out the Privateers Cup for round one of the 98 Shell Australian Touring Car Championship. Well done, Briggsy. A good drive. Melrose will pick up second, and it should be Greg Crick that comes across to pick up third. Indeed it is. There they are, very close back for those minor placings. Smerdon, Wheel, Ashby. Not quite sure who finished the better there, but a good race, Mark, to start off the year.
Yeah, it just shows the depth, the strength of numbers in Privateers in 1998. It's only going to get better.
Here are the final placings for you on the Shell Helix race score. John Briggs in for a great win. Melrose second ahead of Greg Crick and Chris Smerdon. Looking back at the other placings, the youngster Paul Wheel in for fifth. Trevor Ashby worked his way up to sixth. That's a great effort ahead of Ray Hislop and Gary Wilmington. Stay with us after the break. Race 2 of the championship.